Bellator MMA is a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
1 week ago,
the new and now two-time Bellator middleweight world champion, Gegard Mousasi.
Tonight, light heavyweight Corey Anderson makes his Bellator debut when he faces the man they call No Mercy, hard-hitting Melvin Manhoef, who will look to deliver a very rude welcome. Oh my God! This is Bellator 251 on CBS Sports Network. Some significant decisions may have yet to be determined, but tonight, inside the Bellator battleground, fists will fly and fights will be finished as we welcome you once again inside the Mohegan Sun Arena. Our main event showcases a merciless knockout machine and a man who is willing to put in the extra time to claim his spot at the very top of the light heavyweight ladder as Melvin Manhoef welcomes Corey Anderson to the Bellator cage. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Goldberg. My partners, of course, Josh Thompson, Big John McCarthy. He will work overtime, but now it is time for Corey Anderson to fight for Bellator. When we talked to him early in the week, John, he was so refreshed and relaxed, reinvigorated. Why is that?
He's happy. He is in a position here at Bellator where he believes he can be the real Corey Anderson. He says, I was trying to be something I wasn't before. I was fighting in a way that I didn't want to fight to try to please other people. I am here to win fights. That's what we expect out of Corey Anderson.
There's no question about it. Corey will look to move to 1-0 inside the Bellator cage here in his debut in the main event. I think Melvin Manhoef said it perfectly, Josh. He said, I'm not here for Corey, I'm here for me.
Yeah, but you have to remember this. He is a legend in combat sports, kickboxing, MMA. He's fought the who's who. And I want to remind everybody that all of his losses, he was dominating every single person he has ever stepped in that cage against, except for one guy in Gegard Mousasi. I would expect him to dominate Corey Anderson as well. You just got to be careful. You don't get taken down and get sneaking in.
He has a very high finishing rate, and he does it quite often viciously. Melvin No Mercy Manhoef, of course, Corey Anderson. That is our main event of the evening, but we get things started with another Anderson, Derek Anderson. First entered the Bellator cage with a perfect 9-0 record. He has since beaten some of the best, Patricky Pitbull twice, Brandon Kurtz, and Syed Awad. His opponent, Achilles Molotov, opened his professional career with 11 straight wins. Trains under one of Brazil's best, Glover Teixeira, and is looking to remain unbeaten inside the Bellator cage. Derek Anderson, Achilles Molotov.
Ladies and gentlemen, your first fight of the night, Achilles Molotov against Derek Anderson. Your first fighter, ready to make his way to the cage, Achilles Molotov. And now his opponent making his way to the cage, Derek Manhoef.
Those of you guys listening at home, we want you guys to listen to this fight, because there's a lot of things that you will not be able to hear later on once this pandemic is done. There's corners coming in, there's us commentating, you'll probably be able to hear us, you'll be able to hear the fighters respond. So we need to give you guys a moment to listen to this type of action, and you can hear the punches and the thuds landing against each other.
And for those of you fluent in Portuguese, you will also be able to understand the corner of Achilles Mota.
Agora é isso aí, agora vamos controlar.
Much to my point.
Vamos controlar.
12-1 record, Josh, for Achilles Mota.
Tranquilo.
The level of competition that Achilles Mota has fought, though, has not been the same of the level of competition that Derek Anderson has fought.
Without a doubt.
The concern, though, with Derek Anderson is that he is not an active fighter. And the talk and the conversation is like, if you stay busy, which he has talked about this week, if you decide to stay busy, he could potentially be the champion. But he hasn't fought. He's been fighting basically once a year since 2015.
Some of that because of some unfortunate accidents, a car accident, a motorcycle accident, but he told us he's healthy. and he is ready to go. His last fight was a unanimous decision victory over Bumba back at Bellator 229, trying to fight off the takedown here early.
Very nice work by both guys. Mota did a very nice job of sweeping the leg out, getting him to the ground. Derek was very calm throughout the entire situation. A lot of chess game going on right now.
What you're going to see a lot from Derek, though, is that you'll see things that you wouldn't normally see from like jiu-jitsu guys or stand-up guys. He just throws caution to the wind sometimes and lives a lot off of his athleticism, John.
That, and he is tough as nails.
I was going to say, and his ability to be barbaric.
Isso, perfeito. Faz ele pagar.
Heavy shots.
Perfeito.
And you can hear how, you can hear the thud.
Ei, tá certinho, Kids. Mexe o cabelo aí.
Mota turned 30 on Thursday.
Mexe no
Both
quadril
men
pesado e mexe no cabelo.
opened their professional careers 11-0. Don't forget, you can join the conversation on all social media platforms at hashtag Bellator 251.
Já era, moleque. Já
Derek's got to be tight. That looks kind of tight.
Isso, pega.
Can he get it early?
Pega.
And it's hard to escape when it's not sweaty, John. It's hard to get your hands in there and fight the gloves.
It is, but you can see he's relaxed. Look at the look on his face. You can tell that doesn't mean the Achilles cannot all of a sudden apply more pressure. But right now, Derek feels that he's safe and he's trying to just calm himself down.
Mota has finished 10 of his 12 victories. Nice job done early by Derek Anderson.
Já sentiu a força dele.
Mota training under one of Brazil's all-time best, Glover Teixeira. Kyle Magalhães as well.
You just see the relaxation from Derek Anderson.
You saw it even when Michael C. Williams was doing the intros, Josh.
Well, what most people didn't see is when Derek Anderson came into the cage, he did a very nice big leap and jump, and he fell right down.
Tá perfeito.
He's hoping that will be one of the very few takedowns that he suffers tonight.
Cuidado esse clinch aí quando sair, hein?
Just get the mistakes out before the fight
Right?
starts, you're good.
Why not?
Isso. 30 segundos.
A lot of feeling out, and a lot of different grappling positions that in the totality of it, there's that nice little leg sweep. Achilles Mota has done a very nice job of putting Derek in positions where he's just having to defend.
And he's going to do that as we finish round one.
Tá tranquilo. Vamos arriscar.
Old school, cover the mouth.
Só passar aqui, passa. Passa e pega. Pega.
Yeah, no more wrestling. Yeah. Keep it in the middle of the cage. Hit that leg. When you get him, if you go against the cage, put the top of your head right into his chin. You don't want to strike. Yeah. Use that in and out movement now, okay? In and out movement. Don't let him back you up. I gotta open up with the hand corner. How was it get up? See if he'll come to you too. He's letting you walk him down towards the cage because he wants you against the cage right now, okay? So stay away from the cage, stay in the middle. Let's get some striking going on the ground now.
Out! Mouthpiece in! Mouthpiece. Mouthpiece. Get back. Para atrás, por favor, gracias, para atrás. Back, please. Good round one for the black belt in Muay Thai, brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The Brazilian Achilles Mota in the blue gloves, Derek Anderson in the red gloves.
What you guys missed between breaks is Derek Anderson was critiquing himself. I've got to open up more this round. I've got to keep my back off the fence, and I've got to keep it in the center of the cage. It's nice to hear a fighter tell himself, in the corner to his corner, like, this is what I need to do, and his corner obviously backed him up.
Derek did say pre-fight, and when we talked to him earlier, that he does not feel like Mota can hang with him for a long period of time on the feet. We'll see if this fight is contested that way as Anderson looked to return after that kick.
Anytime you have someone that's returning a big shot off of the kick, it's going to make you, as the guy that's throwing that kick, be a little hesitant to throw it again if that shot lands. So every time that you see Mota kick, you should see Derek Anderson trying to counter.
Nice job by Achilles Mota to put Anderson on his back.
Boa! Vamos lá, vamos lá. Vamos lá, vamos tirar essa perna daí, vamos. Isso.
Mota first met Glover Teixeira a little over 2 years ago. Has been training in Danbury, Connecticut with that team since then.
Muito bom,
You can hear the corner giving a little Khabib, 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 because you see the entwining of the legs with that figure four that Khabib Nurmagomedov has become so famous for. Achilles Mota using that same technique.
Tonight after our main event, it's college football time as the Wyoming Cowboys travel to Fort Collins to battle Colorado State. You can catch it all right here on CBS Sports Network. Round 2. Round 1, John to Mota.
No doubt in my mind, Achilles Mota won the first round. Right now, this one's up for grabs.
What Derek needs to do is just start separating the hands and make space, get back to the center of the cage, and stop throwing kicks. That transition that Achilles Mota had where he caught the kick just for a split second, was able to step in on the body lock and outside trip.
Right now, Derek's got his hands together on this takedown attempt, so he should be able to get Achilles up, and now he's going to take him where he wants. Nice little walk over towards his corner. We'll see what type. Hopefully he goes away from his head on this side.
Mota kept that arm around, but wasn't too tight for Derek to get free.
We've seen that when Derek has been on his back, he's been fairly active. He's been moving his hips. He's been looking for different submissions. We'll see what Achilles does against Derek now that he's finally got his back on the ground. So we're looking for that arm bar.
Anderson has only been stopped one time, and that was a long time ago. How about 6.5 years ago? The other 2 losses by decision, 16-3 record for Derek Anderson. 7 wins in the Bellator cage.
Well, the stoppage you're talking about is he got triangle choked, which you're going to see possibly Achilles Mota look for that. That was against Marcin Held, who we've known as, that was a very good submission fighter.
Yes. Back in April of 2014. Long time ago.
Not that long, Mike. Please don't do that to me.
It's the same amount of time for all of us, John.
Yeah, good point.
This is where I feel like Derek just needs to cut bait, get back to the center of the cage.
I agree with you. If you don't have it and you don't want to be in this grappling exchange because you're feeling like, well, I don't have it, break off, put it where you think you're strongest.
Anderson, a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Stop! Turn!
He knew it right away.
Go over there, neutral corner. Get over there. ¿Cómo te sientes?
Wow. No, it's just that's it.
Tienes tiempo, ¿ok?
Three points, 2 points, I mean, 2 points of contact.
Estabas bajo. ¿Cómo te sientes?
Good.
¿Te puedes levantar? Ok, voy a hablar al doctor, ok, tienes tiempo de pensar, ok? ¿Cómo te sientes?
You can take a look at what you're seeing here. Look at what happens, and you see, you're hearing a couple of things about 2 points of contact, and you see the shot that Derek throws, but in reality, Achilles Mota is not a grounded fighter. He's got one hand on the ground and one foot on the ground. He would have had to have both feet on the ground with the one hand to be a grounded fighter. When he was on his knee, he's a grounded fighter no matter how many hands or anything. It's one point of contact that doesn't matter. If he's on his butt, same thing. But as he's coming up, you see that knee come off the ground. He is on a foot and a hand. That makes him a fighter that can be kicked to the body or the head.
So this is a legal shot, John.
Legal shot.
And Mike Beltran was looking at the big screen as we were showing our replay.
You can see, look, right here, you see Achilles as a down fighter. See that knee on the ground? Look at that knee. Look where it's at. It's up. He's on a hand with a toe on the ground. That is a legal shot.
And Mike Beltran just said this fight is over. So Achilles Mota cannot continue. And we'll see what the official call is.
This is the instance where Mike Beltran can go to an instant replay based upon this fight is now over. Fight ending sequence, he can go to the instant replay.
And that's what he is going to do while we step aside. We'll come back and let you know the official decision after this.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 points contact. He was up and down. It don't matter. You have to really let me get. I know. I fucked up. All right, now so that's over though, right? It's not he wins. No contest. I was just about to get better. That's what he knows. I don't know if I mentioned it. Matt fight? Matt's real cool. Matt rocks my hand every time. Yeah, he's a real good guy. So. But I see you on his Instagram a lot. So. I thought that too. Nice to meet you. What was your name? AJ? AJ. I'm sorry, Matt. My bad, dude. How you Very well. Damn it. He was coming up, man. Fuck. He fell back down on purpose. It was 2 points? Yeah. Well, it's 2 points? Yeah, I don't know what that means. Yeah, I fucked up. Didn't say lose. Did it count maybe? Lost? It could. Possibly. Good. That sucks. Fuck. Back over there? Talk to them. I know. Right. You'll be able to. I know. You know how it is. Knockout. For sure? Somebody's telling me something. Yeah, I always flex the Marvin career, you know what I'm saying? What is it?
Bellator is proud to have partnered with the dedicated professionals at Hartford Healthcare for all of our COVID-19 testing and screening. For more information, go to hartfordhealthcare.org. The ability to utilize instant replay was done during our break. Let's see what the decision is. Here is Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, on that fight-ending sequence, we've gone to instant replay. The fighter ruled not to be down, therefore, the blow ruled to be legal. The fight comes to an end officially. 4 minutes, 27 seconds into round number 2. He is the winner by knockout, Derek "Barbaric" Anderson.
He has one hand and one foot on the ground. The kick by Derek Anderson hits the arm and the head. It is a legal blow. If Achilles cannot continue on, that is a TKO victory.
And it is indeed a win for Derek Anderson at 4:27 of round number 2. The Featherweight World Grand Prix is back next Thursday. Patricio Pitbull defends his 145-pound belt when he battles SBG Ireland's Pedro Cavallo. In the other quarterfinal, it's a rematch between Daniel Weichel and Emmanuel Sanchez. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, right here on CBS Sports Network. When we come back, we will check in with Chen Brown and the American Gangster, Chael P. Sonnen. They will begin to break down our main event of the evening. Melvin Manhoef made his professional debut 26 years ago when Bill Clinton was the president of the United States. Tonight, Corey Anderson fights in the Bellator cage for the very first time. Bellator MMA on CBS Sports Network is brought to you by Mohegan Sun Arena. We don't sell tickets, we make memories. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
taking on a last-minute replacement in Vinicius de Jesus. Now, Chael Vanderford, he recently made a move down to ATT down in South Florida. How's that been going for him down there?
Okay, so just to clarify, this is an affiliate gym.
Yes.
In Portland, we are also ATT, and I only share that because there isn't a huge philosophical structural change for Austin, and sometimes I see that with athletes in gyms. I don't like it, but in this particular case, look, he's in there by example with Amosov, our own great welterweight, 24-0 Amosov. I've been training with him every day. It's one of the reasons that Austin moved to 185 pounds. He goes, look, we're going to be teammates and training partners. You take over this division, I'll move up to welter.
Well, his opponent tonight, Vinicius de Jesus, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Vanderford, he's just a purple belt, but he's got that wrestling pedigree. Do you think he's going to have any, concerns going to the ground with Vinicius?
No, he won't. I do believe that he's going to close the distance quickly. Don't forget, Austin is a national wrestling champion. He's got a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, but when you compare that and combine that with a national wrestling championship, all of a sudden you got a pretty confident grappler.
Well,
Jen.
Vinicius, he's well-rounded. He's never been submitted. Half his wins have come by knockout. Do you feel like he should keep this fight on the feet then?
I think that's what he's going to try to do. I think he's got pretty good hands. I think he hits pretty hard. I also think that Austin's hands are possibly underrated. I would just share with you on a 10-9 must system, you don't want to be the guy on bottom.
That is true. Well, one thing's for sure, he said this fight is not going to the cards. It's going to be a good one. All right, coming up. Vinicius de Jesus returns to the Bellator cage, having won 4 of his last 5 fights, and looks to end Austin Vanderford's perfect record. Vanderford is 7-0, and he says, not tonight. Bellator 251 continues live on CBS Sports Network.
As Jen and Chael talked about, Austin Vanderford now training in South Florida full-time at American Top Team headquarters. His opponent, a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and a professor of capoeira.
And now ready to make his way to the cage, the Brazilian bad boy, Vinicius de Jesus.
One thing that should not be a concern for De Jesus is cardio. Yes, he took this fight on short notice, but his last 3 fights were title fights. 2 of them went the distance. He last fought on August 21st. He is looking for his 4th Bellator win.
And now set to make his way to the cage, the gentleman, Austin Vanderford.
On the move to Florida, Austin told us, yeah, of course I miss my friends. I miss everybody up in Oregon, but my wife, Paige Van Zandt, really likes it in Florida. Happy wife, happy life. That's how this world goes. This middleweight fight comes your way in 60 seconds. This is Bellator MMA on CBS Sports Network. Our tale of the tape for this middleweight matchup. 9-0 Austin Vanderford, 9-3 Vinicius de Jesus, turned 30 on Tuesday.
Take a look at those weights, Mike. That's telling you that both guys, although they have fought at welterweight, they are full-fledged middleweights, and they're happy at this weight.
No doubt about it. Spectacular matchup. The official introductions from the voice, Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA moves now to the middleweight division, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds live on CBS Sports Network. We introduce the blue corner at 5'11", weighing in 185.5 pounds. His professional record, 9 wins, 3 losses, from Porto Alegre, Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil, presenting the Brazilian bad boy, Vinicius de Jesus. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner at 5'11", weighing in 184.8 pounds, undefeated as a professional, 9 victories, no defeats, from Ninilchik, Alaska. He fights out of Coconut Creek, Florida, the gentleman, Austin Vanderford. And the referee in charge, Kerry Hatley.
Kerry Hatley, our referee, the Brazilian bad boy, Vinicius de Jesus. The gentleman, Austin Vanderford, King Mo in his corner, as is his wife, Paige Van Zandt.
You ready? Ready? Let's go to work.
Here we go. Tonight's fight clock presented by Geico. Vanderford in the red gloves, de Jesus in the blue gloves. Second fight at 185 for Vinicius de Jesus. His other one happened to be in the Bellator cage as well. Good sprawl.
Very nice hits. Very nice hits by Vinicius. And good counter strikes. Went right after Vanderford, landed a couple of very good strikes.
There's that chain wrestling we had talked about, he had talked about as well. There's that submission attempt, though. We had talked about the submissions being a factor.
got a real problem because of the fence, Josh. He can't just push his way out.
No, but all he's got to do is counterbalance it by pushing his foot on the butt.
Yep.
Josh was saying earlier during our preliminary fights that the mixed martial artists in the world present day are so good that you just can't shoot and be successful. You've got to utilize chain wrestling, right?
Well, we just saw that. So Austin shot in, didn't get the first initial takedown, then he switched and went to the outside. He went deep in the butt and was able to turn the corner. Nice job by Austin.
And a very nice job by De Jesus to switch that into that knee bar attempt. Ends up getting him out.
De Jesus has never been finished.
Both guys very dangerous early in this fight.
And at 9-0, by the way, either has Vanderpool. See how I did that, John?
Na cabeça, boa, 2 aí. Essa é 2. Embaixo e em cima.
Austin wanted to give a shout out to his family in Manilchik and a congrats to his collegiate coach who just retired after many years and wanted to send some love that way as well.
That's 2 big overhand rights in a row landed by Austin. He had that little takedown attempt that went into that knee. It is made, and he is careful at takedown, so he's worried about it. And that big looping overhand right has been connecting.
Mike Ritchie is coach at Southern Oregon University, which is what brought him to the state of Oregon, was his collegiate wrestling. Midway point, round 1.
You got to start checking those, John. It's going to be a long fight if you don't get on that check.
And that is a fast kick. That thing is coming out there quick.
What I like from Austin, though, is that he's not doing what De Jesus is. De Jesus throwing everything with a lot of heat and power. And as this fight goes on, you tend to slow down, and the speed tends to slow down, and you leave your guard open. We're already seeing him start to slow down as he goes right now, John.
Good jab in that big right hand, just missed a moment ago.
But it is the jab that has been, it's getting him his distance. That jab has been connecting. There's that big overhand right again by Austin.
He is vicious with his ground and pound. Bahamba, King Mo, his wife Paige Van Zandt in the corner.
Butterflies. Remember, push the knee and big sprawl to the side. There you go.
90 seconds. Vai pro cage, vai pro cage. Isso, bota o pé e vai.
There you go, that's fine.
Bota o pé, bota o pé.
Now inside control, hands off the mat.
Keep working from the bottom. Prende o braço.
Short elbows are fine.
Prende o braço.
Yeah, short elbows are fine.
Prende o braço, Vinícius. Keep working, hand on the net.
His corner doing a very nice job at telling him about getting out of that butterfly guard. There's a lot of things that can happen. Maurice Smith used to utilize that butterfly guard to be very good in his defense. And a lot of times you have to be very careful with it. You feel much better where he's at in a full guard. Even though it's open now, this is where Austin Vanderford lives.
You just made me feel as old as you are.
That's because you are.
I am.
Well, you guys remember TK Kusaka, he used to use that all the time. That was where he lived, basically, off of that position.
That's where Maurice Smith got it from.
TK could kick a little bit. So could Maurice. 30 seconds on the clock. In just a moment here, round 1. Austin trying to break down the Brazilian bad boy.
I want to see Austin posture up, give a little bit. He's got to clear those feet off the hips first before he postures. As you saw right there, he's trying to do.
He's rolling his hip, trying to drop that leg off.
The best way to sit up and ground and pound in this position while your opponent's back is to the fence is put your forehead against the fence. It takes away a lot of the submissions as well as keeps them there and locked in.
So when I met you, Big John, December 1997.
Tom. Good job, man. Good job. Easy up.
That's good. That was a good round, okay? I just need you to keep jabbing because every jab is landing, okay? The feint needs to go right away, okay? So the kick, every time he kicks, that right hand is there all the time, okay? He wants to put butterfly when you're landing on the ground. Just try to get the half guard right away.
Yes, sir.
If not, the hand in the center and short elbows, okay?
Yes,
But you need to keep your hands up and the feint going.
Yes, sir.
Double jab. Let's take the right hand up. If you're throwing overhand, go straight up some. Double jab and drop the face. That makes you go back.
Okay. Yeah, yes, sir. Tomorrow morning at 10 Eastern, dive into CBS Sports Network as some of the best swimmers in the world team up and hit the water in Budapest. It's the International Swimming League right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Red gloves for Vanderford, blue gloves for De Jesus. Capoeira.
Let's go Western boxing. Very nice job with the left hand, followed by the right. Right into the takedown by Vanderford.
Well, between rounds, Austin's corner told him that jab is landing every single time you throw it. So let's just keep sticking that jab. And sure enough, he threw 3 in a row right there. All 3 of them landed, John. That's good coaching.
No, that's good listening by us.
That's true as well. You can have the best coaches, but if your fighter doesn't listen, it doesn't mean anything.
Striking numbers from the first 5 minutes. Those numbers kind of tell you how effective that jab was.
Yeah, even though Austin threw less punches, he had more success at a 51% success rate of landing.
We talked to Austin about this earlier in the week. The way King Mo picks the guys he's going to train now at American Top Team is he kind of watches for a few days. He goes, I don't like the way that guy works. I like his work ethic. I think I'm going to be one of his coaches. King Mo has selected Austin as one of his students.
Like Austin said, he just one day showed up and started watching all my sparring sessions. And the next thing you know, hey, I got to have this guy in my corner. King Mo is, I mean, to use this word politely, he's kind of a nerd. What I mean by a nerd is that he's very into this sport. He sits at home and watches tape and watches these guys fight. You're seeing just the domination right now in that top position.
You're seeing Austin has been able to trap the right hand of Vinicius de Jesus behind him. And that's why you see Vinicius bringing his left arm over, trying to land elbows. His right arm is trapped. He cannot defend with it. And right now, Austin's just trying to figure out a way to get his left arm free so he can just use it as a jackhammer.
He did land a couple of heavy hammer fists. Big shots. You know, when we talk about Austin Vanderford with Chael, obviously, he always talks about how strong Austin Vanderford is. As strong as pretty much anybody that Chael's ever wrestled with, worked out with, trained with.
Well, this is one of the things that Austin really likes is that he likes the arm triangle choke. You can see he was trying to set it up. It didn't work for him. But he has got a pressure, and everyone's pressure is different. Everyone's squeeze is a little different. And all of a sudden, you will train with someone that, man, they put a squeeze on you or they put a pressure on you. You go, man, this guy is strong. That's Austin Vanderford.
He wants the footlock on your left leg. Just keep it tight. Keep the heavy hit in there. And keep pounding.
Vamos acordar, Vinícius. Vamos acordar, Vinícius. Tem que acordar, Vinícius. Tem que acordar, Vinícius.
Austin has not fought in nearly a year. His last fight.
Tem que acordar e sair daí. Tem que acordar e sair daí, filho. Vamos ver.
Nice. Hit him out. Hit him out.
Austin Vanderford doing a lot of good work here, going to the body, going to the head, big elbow across. Those slashing elbows are so hard to stop because they happen fast. You don't really see it in time. If you're not with your arms already up, it's going to make impact. Austin Vanderford doing just good, solid ground and pound work. A lot of times when you have somebody, people look at ground and pound, they don't think there's a technique to it. There is an absolute skill set on the ground for being able to do damage. Here Austin goes back to that arm triangle. Tried to set it up again, but that leg being trapped keeps him from being able to slide across.
Working in the half guard, 30 seconds.
30 seconds, Austin.
Não deixa ele botar a mão na tua cara.
Heavy him.
Não deixa ele botar a mão na tua cara. Bora, bora. Não deixa ele botar a mão aí. Não deixa ele botar a mão. Defende.
Manhoef looking for the pass right here. Look at him using the leg. Beautiful job. Now he's got that arm triangle set. If he gets that leg off, it's putting a lot of pressure down.
10 segundos. 10 segundos, Vinícius.
That is tight right now. Vinicius is trying to work his way through it.
10 segundos. Aguenta. Não deixa. Aguenta que vai dar. Aguenta.
Easier.
Okay, it definitely won't. Definitely won't let you get the katagatan. Okay, so you either turn him to the center, okay, or you go to mount. Then he's gonna give you the back. Okay. Now I want you to be very aware. He's gonna get crazy now. He knows that he's down 2 rounds. Hands up and feints. Okay.
Tough for my eyes.
As long as you're aware of that, we're good to go, okay? 5 minutes.
Big finish in round 2 for the gentleman, 9-0 Austin Vanderford. Red gloves for Vanderford, blue gloves for De Jesus. 3rd round. 5 minutes remain. There's that jab again. Setting up the takedown by using that jab.
Austin has done a very good job of making this his fight, Mike. He's come out, he's utilizing his stand-up to bring him into the world that he is so good at. That is this ground and pound and working towards a submission that he has come close. He came close in the end of that 2nd round.
He's finished 5 of his last 6 fights.
John, what everyone needs to remember is that he's been in Chael Sonnen's grappling tournaments and submission underground and against guys like Jake Shields and other top black belts. So there's nothing that De Jesus is going to do that he hasn't already seen. It's just a matter of getting caught in exchanges when you're throwing punches and strikes that sometimes get you in trouble.
Well, and that's how he has stayed busy since his last fight in the Bellator cage in Tel Aviv. 3 times he competed in Chael's event. So he stayed active and thus looks very good here so far with 3:45 on the clock, 3rd and final round of this middleweight match.
That was a slicing elbow across, and again, happens so fast, you cannot stop it. When it hits, it has impact.
Now, if Austin would have completed that submission at the end of round 2, it would have been the first time Vinicius has been stopped.
Another one right there, John.
Vinicius back training with his father, Vitor, at Nick Newell's gym with, once again, limitations of travel. Vinicius, a longtime member of Renzo Gracie's team. Just pure power, strength, ground and pound, and wrestling of Vanderford, overwhelming the Brazilian bad boy, bloodying them up, looking to finish his fight.
That far side underhook is really what's keeping his back flat to the ground, and that overhead chest pressure. So if he's got that chest pressure over De Jesus' body, that's easier for to keep him down. Almost tried to make that transition right there at the very end of the side choke again.
That was a nice move by De Jesus underneath because he had gotten his arm trapped. Here he goes right back to that, looking for that head and arm choke, arm triangle choke. A lot of people want to call it different things. It's the same type of choke. That is Manhoef's bread and butter when he's in the top position.
One of my favorite submissions to try to hit in fights because it's risk reward. If I lose a position, I can always go back to a top position. If I lose a position, sometimes I can take your back from that position. Plus, there's also different ways to hit the choke from that side, not just the side choke. There's other different types of neck cranks you can also hit when they start to try to roll away. Third straight fight at 185 for Vanderford. He had a contracted fight at 175 in his Bellator debut. Believe it or not, he was a welterweight for all his fights previous. Under 90 seconds.
You saw De Jesus using the fence to start to kind of get himself up. Right away, Vanderford takes him, swings him off of the cage, puts his back all the way onto the canvas. Landing, just slicing elbows.
You're seeing exactly what Chael Sonnen talked about, though. The physical strength of holding his guys down. And Chael's trained with Austin several times. And he said very clearly, he is physically just super strong. Inducted into the Alaska State Hall of Fame for his wrestling. Wanted to give a shout out to his high school coach, John Lindemann, the Olympic alternate. He said he is one tough guy. So awesome.
Oh my, a couple of those are big shots they're landing. Vinicius De Jesus is a tough guy himself.
And that's why he's never been stopped, John.
That's it, man. There is no give on that man.
Don't let him mount the back.
20 seconds.
Austin Vanderford is painting not only pressure on Vinicius, but it's on the canvas too.
Yes, indeed. They go the distance. Give a ton of credit to Vinicius De Jesus, as Austin Vanderford will move to a perfect 10-0. We will make it official coming up next. With his power.
Boy, he did. When he finally got himself under control in this fight, started using that jab, that left hand, and then the big overhand right, started hurting Vinicius, utilizing his wrestling, putting Vinicius De Jesus in positions where he was just a defensive fighter for most of the fight after the first half of the first round.
Michael C. Williams with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your three judges at cage side. Your first, Brian Miner, scores it 30-26. while judges David Peabody and Jacob Montalvo both see it the same 30-27. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated, the gentleman, Austin Vanderford.
30-27, 30-27, 30-26. And Vinicius de Jesus still has not been stopped. American Gangster, you're right when you talk about Austin Vanderford. Jen?
Thanks, Goldie. Hey, Chael, your teammate there getting it done. What'd you think of his performance tonight?
Look, he's relentless. And, you know, I was very impressed with some of the composure, Jen, that he showed in the first round. He lost the first half of the first round, but he was taking some big strikes. He stayed composed. He didn't force anything. He didn't rush anything. For a young fighter, 8-0, now 9-0, I think that he deserves a compliment for that.
Absolutely. Very impressive. All right, we've got more fight action to come. And here's a look at the Bellator action we have coming your way next week. That's right. Bellator's Featherweight World Grand Prix is back after an 8-month hiatus due to COVID. Patricio Pitbull will put his featherweight world title on the line when he takes on Pedro Carvalho. That is next Thursday, live on CBS Sports, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. All right, Chael, we've got a battle of the heavyweights coming up next. That's Tyrell Fortune. He's taking on Saeed Soma. Now, Tyrell, he had a great start here in Bellator. 8-0, then he gets knocked out by Tim Johnson. He has the no contest in September to Jack May. He says he wants to right the ship tonight. What does that look like?
Well, by the way, I got to tell you, Tim Johnson is the red-hot fighter of the entire year for the industry. But look, here's what I don't like. He went out and said, I want to get hit a little bit. I want to make sure that I don't have some of that apprehensiveness. I want to make sure I can take a shot. What are you talking about? You want to take a shot? That's the last thing you want to do, Jen. The fight game is not complicated. I touch you, and you don't touch me. That is the name of this game. I hope that this is gamesmanship. I hope he's not being serious. Look, this isn't boxing and, I apologize, it's not boxing or grappling. It's boxing and grappling. Strikes and the kicks and the rest of the whole bit. He needs to mix things up. That's what he does well. Get on top. Get a hold of these guys. Wear them down. Use those 11 national championships in wrestling that you spent a lifetime under Coach Pittman to develop.
Well, I know you'd love to see him use that wrestling, but there's no denying the success he's had with that knockout power. All right, let's talk his opponent, Saeed Soma. Now, he is coming in. It's his Bellator debut. He just won the Titan FC heavyweight title. Now, he's not your typical heavyweight style guy, right? Like, you look at him, he's a little bit smaller, a little bit faster. He's got that gas tank. What kind of problems might that present for Tyrell Fortune tonight?
Okay, good news for Team Saeed. He knows what he's getting into, Jen. He knows he's getting in there with a monster wrestler. He knows he's getting in there with somebody that's got heavy hands, but he's been prepared for this, training with Steve Mocco in the wrestling, training with Junior Dos Santos in the striking. He feels very confident. To use his own words, he said, my training partners are better than my opponent is tonight. Now, I'm not saying I agree with him, but it did bring him a level of confidence, and a lot of times guys with Tyrell don't know quite what they're getting into. This guy does.
All right, well, whose style and whose size will get them the win tonight? We will have that answer soon enough. Up next, it's the battle of the heavyweights. Saeed Soma comes to play spoiler tonight when he takes on top heavyweight prospect Tyrell Fortune.
The lead trainer at Neuroforce One told me that Tyrell Fortune has taken his mental toughness and laser-like focus to an entirely new level. His opponent is on a 6-fight win streak.
Now set to make his way to the cage, Saeed Soma.
Lost his professional debut to Steve Mowry. It was Mowry's 4th professional fight. He has not been defeated since. American top teams, Saeed Soma. Dangerous, to say the least. He's got that Mike Tyson frame, and many have said he's got that calm and cool and kind of collected fight composure, much like our champion, Gegard Mousasi.
He is very calm when he fights. It's impressive.
We will see.
And now making his way.
Tail of the tape for this heavyweight collision. 8-1 Tyrell Fortune against 6-1 Saeed Soma. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Live on CBS Sports Network, Bellator MMA now goes to the co-main event of the evening. 3 5-minute rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing the blue corner, at 6 foot, weighing in 243 pounds, entering the Bellator cage for the first time. He brings 6 professional victories, 1 loss. Originally from Suriname, he fights out of Coconut Creek, Florida, Saeed Soma. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 6'2", weighing in 256.7 pounds. His professional record, 8 wins, 1 defeat. Fighting out of Tempe, Arizona, by way of Portland, Oregon. Introducing Tyrell Fortune. And the referee in charge, Mike Beltran.
Mike Beltran, our referee. For this heavyweight matchup, our co-main event of the evening, Tyrell Fortune, Saeed Soma. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Here we go. Tonight's fight clock presented by Geico. Red gloves for Fortune, blue gloves for Soma. 6-fight win streak, making his Bellator debut. 10 professional fights for Fortune have been here in Bellator.
A lot of feints, a lot of just trying to feel each other out right now. Tyrell likes when a guy starts to get on his horse and starts to move because he likes to cut him off and throw that big right hand.
Saeed moving away from it, at least thus far.
John, we're 1 minute in, and Tyrell is soaked in sweat.
To me, that's good. Anytime you're warm coming in, that's a good thing. When you're dry, it's not always good.
He can take what was a tough calendar year, tough last couple of fights, and turn it into a good finish of 2020 if he can get his arm raised in this one. 6 years Soma has been in Coconut Creek with some of the best in the world. Good kick.
That one landed right on the elbow, though. Those are the ones that make your feet
that
go
hurt
numb.
your foot.
You wonder if that stinging feeling's gonna go away. Is what you feel.
Trevor Lawley, Arizona Combat Sports, trainer of Tyrell Fortune. A lot of good fighters come out of Arizona Combat Sports over the years.
Behind the jab, son. So using your hands a little bit more. A little tighter in the game.
That's a nice double jab. The impressive part of it when you're watching someone do that, you saw that double jab, but you saw his head come off the center line, brings it over. Now let's see what he does the next time he throws it.
Just switch stances, which when you have a wrestling background, you normally shoot with that right leg forward. So that means he's probably going to start looking to set up his takedown from there, which is nice because that's kind of what I want to see him do more of.
Yeah, his wrestling is so good, Josh. He is so accomplished in it. But in MMA, he has really fallen in love with the striking game. And he doesn't utilize that wrestling now like he did when he first started his career.
5 wins by knockout. Find some new toys when you've wrestled your entire life, John. It's like, yeah, I like this, I like this. This is fun. Until it happens to you.
You know, remember what brought you.
Yes.
It's not so much the new toys as much as that you're just tired of the old one. You've done it your whole life. I can tell you, wrestling is not an easy sport. Striking seems so much easier, so much more fun. You can hit things. Wrestling is a grind, and there's nothing you can do to make it go away.
Didn't what you just say was virtually identical to what I said, Josh?
I said it better, by the way.
Yes, you did. Much smoother.
Nice job by Tyrell.
Nice go behind by Tyrell, bringing him to the ground. Still got his hands locked. We'll see what Syed is able to do from this position and getting himself back to his feet.
Division II national champion in 2013.
Head control.
As Chael has talked about frequently, highly decorated wrestler Tyrell Fortune. Came into this one 256.7.
I believe that is the heaviest he has ever weighed in competition.
It is indeed. Because 251.1, his last fight was the heaviest. And I'm good at math.
if you're going to exit with something. That's what he's doing there, and that's good fighting.
Trevor Lawley said you are doing nothing wrong. That was perfect. He also reminded Tyrell Fortune, don't chase, don't force. And he said, Josh, start dropping in. Start dropping in.
What he said was drop in off the jab. So what he wanted him to do is he wants him to throw the jab and then drop in on the takedown off of that versus just trying to shoot raw.
Back on the jab. Take it easy, game. Back on the jab. Hands up, hands up.
The other thing as well, John, when you talked about the knee at the very end of that round, fighters sometimes have a tendency to relax when they hear the clack, clack of the 10-second bell. And that's something you can't do against any fighter. You should always be prepared to fight. Even when the bell rings at the very end, the ref goes to step in.
Said if he starts to move, control him with your jab.
Don't stay flat-footed, Tom. Don't stay flat-footed. Don't stay flat-footed. See, there's
Quick
the
kick,
counter hook you want.
buckled the left leg a bit on Tyrell Fortune. He answers.
Drop it tight before that right hand.
Fortune in the red gloves, 6-1. Saeed Soma in the blue gloves, making his Bellator debut.
Soma's having a little bit of success when he throws. The problem is he's doing a lot of feinting and not enough throwing.
I totally agree. When you are the one that's controlling your activity. When you lack activity, you're not giving your opponent many problems, and you're not giving the judges anything to go with.
Soma was a competitive swimmer from age 5 until age 22. Also played basketball. He actually swam at about 210 pounds at the collegiate level.
That's what I want.
So that's how I always kept my cardio edge. Has not been able to do that as much with the pandemic and everything going on modern day.
One of the things that keeps his cardio edge is he's very calm when he fights. Look at him throughout this entire fight. Absolutely. And when you're calm and relaxed in the fight, you just don't burn excess energy, and you got gas.
That was a sneaky front kick there.
Now keep working, come on. Turn, yes, good job.
Caught the rib cage, but Fortune closes. Double unders.
It was a nice job by Tyrell Fortune coming in. He almost had the duck under, decided no.
Make him tear you the way. No, you need to get on the hook, come on.
They're trying to sag him now to that side, that overhook side.
Stop!
Caught a little bit in the low section there, Big John.
Yeah.
Get over here.
You good? Can you continue?
That's common for fighters. Let me give a little bounce real quick. Let me see. Make sure everything's there.
Mike Beltran putting him in the same position as they were.
Mike Beltran doing the right thing. A lot of guys would have just started from the stand-up. Tyrell had what we call an advantage, put him back in that advantage since he was the foul fighter.
What's that, busy night?
A little bit. Nice frame out by Saeed. Get under the chin. He's trying to push that head down to bring that knee up.
Push away, push away. Push. Attaboy.
There you go. Tyrell doing a good job. Now he needs to stand up with that leg. He can't hold. That was nice. He pulled him away from the fence and then re-entered right to the body lock. Great transition.
Both guys transitioning well, because you saw what Tyrell did in getting back to that body lock, but you saw it was Saeed defending that attempt that Tyrell had. So good work by both.
Saeed moved to the United States in 2010. Once he graduated from college, he had a regular job, and he said he just couldn't see himself sitting at a desk the rest of his life because he'd always been an athlete. Thus, a professional mixed martial artist and a very good one.
Stop working, stay here 1 minute. Good, son. Go.
Nice little inside leg kick right off the bat.
Good. Don't use the side. No.
Tyrell kept throwing the same punch over and over, and then someone was able just to kick that inside leg, realizing when he stepped.
Yep.
Good timing.
You got to be impressed. You know, Soma growing up and being a swimmer, he didn't wrestle. And you know, we hear all the time, oh, you can't teach a grown man to wrestle. Bull. Watch right there. That man can wrestle now.
Short punches.
6 years at American Top Team will do that too.
John, he's in some trouble here. Tyrell Fortune's taking some big shots towards the end of this round.
That was a big body kick.
Be smart. Bounce move. Be smart.
That hit the rib cage flush.
He had one earlier too.
Keep your hands off though when you do it.
Like I said, Soma's having success once he throws.
Yep.
He's throwing that. Finally, he's throwing that left-hand counter.
That left hand caught it.
9, 10 seconds. Take your hands off. Hands off.
Soma finishes round 2 strong.
You understand? Relax, don't go crazy. We're gonna finish 100%. You don't want it? Breathe, breathe, breathe. Don't move that. Breathe. Relax. Go. Okay, wake up. Relax. It's really easy, okay? Bro, you almost get the money line. You do very good. This one they have to finish it, you understand me? This one you finish it. But be smart. Because he's gonna try to finish this round, you know, but he's dead, bro. He's dead, bro. He can't hurt you at all. You can see everything, bro. He looks like shit. All he do is like hugging you on the face, man. You understand? So wake up. Start to kick this body. Start to kick this body. Kick the shit out. The thing comes to you. So when you put too much weight, then kick the up top. You understand? But when you finish it, you make him lose. You catch him with your hands, man. Use your hands, man. Beat.
Corner, please. Back it up, get in the corner. Back it up. Back it up.
College football following Bellator MMA, Wyoming at Colorado State, right here on CBS Sports Network.
Third final round.
Third and final round.
Let's go.
Fortune in the red gloves, Soma in the blue gloves. Big John, your scorecard.
Right now, I have the fight even. I gave the first round to Tyrell Fortune. I gave the last round, second round to Syed Soma. Based upon, actually it was from that point where that groin strike and there was the break the fighters. Fight completely switched and Soma did some good damage and he hurt Tyrell in the end of that round. So I think we have an even fight.
The corner of Soma, while we were at break, said, keep doing what you're doing. You're starting to hurt him. You're starting to break him down. You can finish him.
What he needs to do is exactly what Josh was talking about. He needs to up the level of intensity and up the activity. Because when he's active, he's been scoring.
Well, here's my concern, John, is that Tyrell Fortune came in heavier than he's ever come in. And he started to slow down as he started taking more shots towards the end of that last round. And he came out fresh in this round, but will he be able to carry it into 2.5 minutes and so on? That's pushing a lot of weight, buddy.
Well, there was a couple things that happened in that second round. Think of that groin strike and then think of that kick to the body. Both of those things can definitely make you feel like I need air.
That is one of the biggest things they work on, not just at Neuroforce One, but all strength and conditioning coaches, is how much can we bring that heart rate down in that 60 seconds? How much can you recover before you have to go back into battle? The numbers that Henry Cejudo started to achieve were off the charts. Fortune was unfortunate in that he got tagged a lot at the end of that second round, as you guys talked about.
Yeah, but notice he's going straight back. Do not want to go straight back. You want to angle off just like you just saw him do right there. That's going to make you a lot more successful. It's going to give you an opportunity to counter.
The other thing is, well, Goldie, you talked about Soma being a swimmer. That's a lot of muscle memory. That's a lot of teaching your body to use your whole body, every muscle you have. And it's showing right now is a heavyweight. That's very rare that you have that with heavyweights. He doesn't look like he's breathing heavy at all. That comes from relaxation. That's also learning how to relax when you swim.
No question. And he was doing it collegiately at 210, 215 pounds.
Sounds like Big John.
I haven't been 215 since the 6th grade.
That was only the first semester. Past the midway point of the third and final round of a very close fight. You can definitely see that Soma has gotten the respect of Fortune.
No doubt about it.
What Tyrell needs to do is he needs to check the kick. He needs to follow up with just more than 1 and 2, because that three punch will land because someone's moving straight back with his head going back. We saw the success that Nemkov had against Bader because that's what Bader was doing in their fight. It's very similar to what Tyrell Fortune is doing. And it just so happens the two of them are training partners.
1 minute and a half,
Ty, do not get out wrestled here, son.
I'm not.
And again, that's what you get when there's no crowd. I love that.
Trevor Lawley, do not get out wrestled here. I'm not.
I want head control.
There's Trevor Lawley.
Well, what Trevor is talking about and what he's seeing is Tyrell is slowing down. And so if he's in this position with his back against the cage, you can't rest here. You got to go.
But, John, when your fighter answers you back like that, that's frustration.
Head control, Ty. Head control.
I've never met another fighter that's answered their corner like during fights. I mean, you shake your head, you say yes sir, no sir, kind of thing, you know? But that type of answer is a frustration level, I think. He's just not having his way with Soma the way he thought he would.
That was a nice knee inside. Soma's slick. He has out-pummeled Tyrell in positions, gotten the inside double unders. Doing really well here. All that work with a guy named Steve Mogo is paying off, and that's not fun work. If anyone knows Steve, he is a bear.
Under 30 seconds.
Let it go, fighter. Let it go, fighter.
What's on, Ty?
All you got, Ty. Ty, you have 15 seconds. Ty, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up.
I was ill-advised by someone to do that.
Yeah, I was. That was just a mistake.
That's the wrestling right there by Tyrell Fortune.
And it's late in the final round of a very close fight. They go the distance. Will it be Tyrell Fortune or will Saeed Soma be victorious in his Bellator debut?
There. Where's expert? Fine. Bây giờ phải cái gì này? Như này hết. Or they're gonna take the takedown. They're gonna do the takedown.
Bellator is proud to continue to partner with the dedicated professionals at Hartford Healthcare for all of our COVID-19 testing and screening. For more information, go to hartfordhealthcare.org. Take a look at the fight stats, the final numbers. 2 takedowns for Fortune. A lot of kicks landed for Soma. Let's see who has earned themselves a victory. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go to your 3 judges at cage side. All 3, Jacob Montalvo, Brian Miner, Dave Torelli, all have it exactly the same, 29-28. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Tyrell Fortune.
29-28, Tyrell Fortune returns to his winning ways. We get it back to Jen and Chase.
Well, thanks, Goldie Chael. The time is finally here. It's our main event. We've got Corey Anderson's Bellator debut. He's taking on Melvin Manhoef. Now, we've talked about Anderson all night. He's well-rounded, good on his feet, good on the ground. What is the game plan now, moments before he walks to the cage, to beat Melvin Manhoef?
All right, he needs to close the distance, and I mean he needs to do it right now. Do not play this game, and Corey can stick and move with any of them, but Jen, there's no reason to risk it, okay? And Corey likes to. I got to tell you, he likes to feel you out before he changes elevation and starts to make that wrestler's blast. Just blast him. Walk across the ring, blast him. Don't deal with any of that Manhoef power.
Well, Manhoef said, I am not here to be an easy win for Corey Anderson. He says that I want to play spoiler tonight. He called it. He said he's going to shock the world with a knockout. Can he do that?
Absolutely. This guy is not to be messed with, Jen. I'm very confident in telling you, don't blink. I mean, that old expression, don't, but I think we go less than 5 minutes. That I can tell you. And yes, Manhoef can knock him out. That is not my prediction, but that's not what you asked me. Does he have the power and the ability and the range? You better believe it.
Well, you know, he's got 29 knockouts as an MMA fighter. He has got 27 as a professional kickboxer.
Oh, Jen, look at that.
There's
This guy,
the power right there.
This guy punches just like I do, only much, much better.
Well, you know, you talked about not blinking. Of those 26 knockouts, of those 29 knockouts, he's got 26 in the first round. It's going to be an exciting one tonight, Joe.
First round, you just said it, girl.
All right, that's what he is calling. All right, that fight is coming up next. We've got Corey Anderson making his walk to the Bellator cage for the first time, and he intends to put the heavyweight division on notice. His opponent, Melvin Manhoef, is happy to play the spoiler.
Bellator MMA on CBS Sports Network is brought to you by Mohegan Sun Arena. We don't sell tickets, we make memories. 50th professional fight for Melvin Manhoef. First professional fight in the Bellator cage for Corey Anderson.
And now, set to make his way to the cage, Corey Overtime Anderson.
Born and raised in Rockton, Illinois. A purple belt under Ricardo Almeida. He has been training with Ricardo Almeida, Nick Catone, Mark Henry in New Jersey. Winner of 4 of his last 5. Refreshed, reinvigorated, and ready to go. Josh Thompson, your keys to victory for Corey Anderson.
What Corey Anderson needs to do is he needs to keep Melvin Manhoef on his heels. What I mean by that, so he cannot set and throw that heavy power leg kick and big strikes that he has. Make him carry his weight. That's another thing that he needs to do. Press him to the fence, use his length and his reach, and hold him down.
And now, to make his way, Melvin No Mercy Manhoef.
Pretty simple. Melvin Manhoef said, I am not here for Corey. I'm here for me. I'm here to prove I'm still legit. 32 career wins in a career that began in 1995. 29 of those by knockout Big John. Your keys for No Mercy.
First thing is you got to wear shorts like he is, because I love those. Those are classic as far as Melvin, but his keys to victory are simple. Lateral movement is vital in this fight for him. He needs to be in and out and use lateral movement. Do not put yourself to the fence. If your back hits the fence, you got to get off of it. And then if you hit the ground, you got to immediately be working to get up.
Our tail of the tape for this, our main event of the evening. 44-year-old Manhoef against 31-year-old Anderson.
You can see the difference here. 5'8" to 6'3", 72 reach to 77.5. But Melvin Manhoef has been facing things like this his entire career.
I was going to say, John, nothing new for No Mercy.
Not at all.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bellator MMA live on CBS Sports Network from Mohegan Sun Arena. The time has come for tonight's main event. 3 5-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. Sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation Chairman James Gessner, President of Sports and Entertainment Tom Cantone, Chief of the Mohegan Tribe Lynn Malerba, and supervising at Cageside Director Mike Mazzulli. And now, first introducing the blue corner. At 6'3", weighing in 205 pounds even, making his Bellator debut. He enters with 13 professional victories, 5 defeats. Fighting out of Rockton, Illinois, Corey Overtime Anderson. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 5'8", weighing in 204.2 pounds, in a remarkable career. He's amassed 32 professional victories, along with 14 defeats and 1 draw. Hailing from Amsterdam, Netherlands, presenting No Mercy, Melvin Manhoef. And the referee in charge, Todd Anderson.
Face him off. Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If you wish to touch gloves, do so now. Step back.
That is one mean man. He got a mean look. Corey Anderson's brave. Corey Anderson, Melvin Manhoef, our main event of the evening.
Ready? Ready?
Hey, here we go. Tonight's fight clock presented by Geico. No mercy in the red gloves, overtime in the blue gloves. 25 of his 29 career knockouts have come in the first round.
Corey got to make sure he's not heavy on that lead leg like Melvin said he is.
Melvin has been, he's studied him. He knows exactly what it is. And you can see as Corey steps there, watch how he gets heavy on that leg, so he needs to be careful of it.
Juan Archuleta watching very closely. Juan Archuleta, of course, our bantamweight world champion.
Nice little tricky move by Corey right there. Towards that knee tap, brings the hand over. Trying to drop Melvin's hands down for that wrestling defense.
When we asked Corey what he was going to do, he said this: I'm going to take him down, I'm going to ground and pound, I'm going to beat him up, I'm going to get my arm raised. He's working at it.
He's got it. And we had talked to Melvin about this, and he says, I'm going to end up on my back at times, but, you know, that's okay. I just get myself back to my feet, and that's the way you have to look at it. You can't sit there and go, oh, damn, just, you know what? Okay, I'm here. How do I get out?
He said Corey's a level up. He knows that.
Corey's got that, if you watch it, look at his left arm. He's got that far side underhook. That makes it very difficult for Melvin to get out of this position.
Corey said many times, fighting for Bellator feels like a new beginning for me.
Melvin needs to get that arm off of the head and try to dig it in, get it into that underhook position. Still has it in the overhead.
Corey's very good at using hip pressure to control the top positions. Began wrestling in the 3rd grade. His brother was a wrestler as well. Ben Askren was one of his coaches his senior year of college.
Good, keep that head position. Back down, that's it. Let's double tight, keep the hook. Yeah, watch the hip. Yes!
This is exactly what Corey Anderson wants. This is what when he was talking, Josh, about, I just need to be me. I was trying to be somebody I wasn't before. I was trying to be that stand-up guy, knocking people out. I come from a wrestling background. Yeah, I can stand up and fight, but if I can take someone to the ground, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I don't like to get into that, not being yourself. What you need to do is you need to remember that winning solves everything. Okay, and if he keeps winning, it won't matter what happens. Nice little hook sweep by Melvin Manhoef there. Very nice.
Corey said to be the best, you have to beat the best, and that's all that matters in the end, much to Josh's point. Don't forget Wyoming at Colorado State coming up right after our main event. This is round 1, Manhoef and Anderson. Good timing there by Corey.
Nice change of levels by Corey. Timed that well.
Big shots.
Very big. That's a big, strong, heavy man on top, landing heavy shots.
Out of all those shots, though, John, only 1 or 2 actually got through.
That's true.
Find that ear.
Control the hips here, head down. Keep that head down. Make the wrist.
I got to give Corey credit, though, because on that last takedown, right, Melvin, he had to wait for the timing to be perfect. It's also a lot harder, being as tall as Corey Anderson is, for him to get his hips in this level to drop that low to get it on the takedown.
Melvin's shot that underhook. Now that he's got that underhook, he's just got to get his legs underneath him.
You can also go back to what I mentioned earlier. 25 of 29 knockouts for Manhoef in the first round. If you're able to do what Corey's doing right here, you take away a little bit of that power, at least you hope you do, as he's been able to utilize his game plan here in round 1.
Nice knee to the body by Corey Anderson. A
Good first 5 minutes inside the Bellator cage.
Good job, boys. Thank you.
Great round, great round.
Good job, you. Those things going on the head. You know what I'm saying? Those things going on the head. Clinch the head back and then take the shot. Create that clinch back. Create those hands up. You follow what I'm saying? If you're gonna throw that jab up, get it down back quicker. If you start out, don't put it out lazy. You understand what I'm saying? They're gonna tell me come a little harder this one. But you got it tired, buddy. You got it tired. When you're going on the ground, put a little more juice on that. He's giving it to you. He's giving it to you a little harder. You know what I'm saying? One more sentence, fight zone. Hey, look at that back hand. That part. I heard you. Yep. Come on. Come on.
Pitbull and Pedro, 145 belt on the line. The other quarterfinal matchup, Vichel Sanchez 2. Featherweight World Grand Prix continues 1 week from tonight. Round 2. Corey Anderson in the blue gloves, Melvin Manhoef in the red gloves. Mark Henry in the corner. Corey Anderson said, stay busy, keep utilizing your hands, set things up.
I don't think you could, if you're in Corey Anderson's corner, you couldn't have asked for a better first round in Bellator for your fighter. He did everything right.
And the numbers attest to that, John.
Yes, they do.
Melvin needs to stop looking for the one shot. He needs to start to go ahead and throw it and just set his little things up, little feints, and then throw off of it. He's got to get his back off that fence right now as well.
Corey's doing a really good job with his feints, though. He's got Melvin guessing right now.
That was a nice little dip out the corner there. Great job.
Take your time here.
Big, heavy shots. But much to Josh's point, Melvin does a good job of defending himself, even in bad positions.
This is where it's going to be a little harder for Melvin, though, to get up off the canvas because there's no cage to use. Right. It's like a third leg to kind of stand up on. Yeah. He's using that cage to lean on and carry his weight and get back to his feet.
And in this half-guard position, Corey has shown in his previous fights, he will stay here all day long and just ground and pound you for the entire round.
Go back. Corey, give me an out. Give me an out, Corey.
Trying to reach that far side arm. The arm that's underneath the head so he can lock him down and hold him there and use his right arm to strike.
Corey has 5 wins by knockout, no career wins by submission.
Thinking about the hands. A
lot of people will look at what Corey was doing and think that he was going for an Americana. He's not. And he's proving that by where he's having his arm holding the head also. You have no submission if you have that head involved in it.
That shot hurt Melvin right there, John.
Yeah, it did. You can see him starting to cover up with both hands.
Big elbows, postured up.
This is the point. Big elbows in this position. That's a big shot right there by Corey.
Todd Anderson telling Melvin, you got to move, you got to protect yourself.
Corey continues on. This fight is going to be over.
It is all over! Corey Anderson, victorious in his Bellator debut!
Too many good blows in, brother. Easy. Come on, let's go back over. All right, let's get him on a bench.
And no need for overtime.
8-1-5, duty. Ground and pound.
Josh, take a look at when he starts to posture. Look at this elbow come down right in the middle there, and he started landing just heavy elbows. A couple of punches, but the elbows were the big difference here.
That one right there was the one that those last two were the key. One of them cut Melvin open, and then once he turned to start covering up, you saw the refs start giving Melvin warnings. No reaction led to the stoppage.
That would be according to game plan. for Corey Anderson. Against the veteran of 26 years. This is 50th professional fight, pure class, no mercy, finished in round 2. Corey Anderson is 1-0 in his Bellator career, and he looked spectacular. Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, referee Todd Anderson steps in, waves off the contest due to strikes. Official time, 2 minutes, 34 seconds, round number 2, the winner by TKO, Corey Overtime Anderson.
Big John McCarthy will visit with Corey Anderson.
Corey Anderson, that was an outstanding performance. Your first round here in Bellator, I don't think your coaches could have asked for anything better from you. How are you feeling?
I feel great, man. Went just like the plan. Me and Nicotone talked all week. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. We're going to do what we did from the beginning. New platform. I don't have to show. I don't have to do anything fancy. Do what we do, what I do in the gym. Mark Henry said the whole time. Do what you do in sparring. This guy can't keep with you. Nobody can. And that's what I did. Exactly what I do in sparring.
You used a ton of feints, and you were showing that you were going to go after the takedown, but then you brought the shots over the top, and when it looked like you were going to use your hands, you were going into the takedowns. You had him confused. Let's talk about the finish in the second round, though. You were landing big elbow strikes, heavy shots. Did you know that you were going to end it in that fashion?
Well, like Nick Tone told me after, one more takedown, Corey, this is over. And Mark Henry just said, do the drama. You hear drama. That's our code. That means go, let loose, finish him. He's going to stop, go. And we did exactly what the coaches told me.
Well, you faced a legend in Melvin Manhoef. That's a man that has faced everybody there is in this sport and taken out some of the legends. Taking out someone like that, that's special, but who is it that you believe you should be facing next?
I should be fighting whoever can give me the title, either Manhoef or Phil Davis. Whoever's fighting for the title, I want to win. I'm ready. Let's go.
So you would take Phil Davis or Manhoef? Tell me.
Whoever wins the belt, whoever got that strap, come see me.
Sounds good to me. Outstanding performance. Welcome to Bellator. Back to you, Mike.
Thank you very much, Big John, and congratulations to Corey Anderson, finishing Melvin Manhoef in round number 2. Jen and Chael.
Well, thanks, Goldie. Chael, Melvin, wasn't able to get it done as you thought. Corey Anderson said he wanted to come in and make a statement to the light heavyweight division. I think he did that tonight.
He confused me tonight. He confused me in that interview. Big John asked him, who would you like, Manhoef or Phil Davis? He said, I want whoever's got the strap. Does he not know? That is Manhoef. Manhoef is the champion, and he might just be, I'm talking about Manhoef now, Manhoef might just be looking at the new #1 contender.
So much, guys.
Now, what did you think about what he did there in the cage tonight? We talked about wanting to use that wrestling, the grappling. He was so strong on top, obviously finishing it there with the ground and pound.
And Jen, composed everywhere. That was kind of the question, right? We knew he had skills. The question is, how are you going to do your first night in a new organization like Bellator? Look, I thought the way he fought on his feet, I thought how he stayed relaxed on this position, what we call the ground and pound, to use the elbows, to use the hands, to not punch himself out. There was a moment in the first round where he had to put the brakes on a little bit, but strategically speaking, I think he showed a real maturity.
Well, seeing that he wants to fight for the belt, that is against Manhoef. Do you think he did enough tonight? I mean, knowing where he came from, he's obviously one of the top guys in the division. Did he do enough to be the next challenger for the belt?
I think that Scott Coker is going to have to look at this in one of two ways. Do I put Corey Anderson in with Manhoef now, or do I have him fight Phil Davis first? Here's the bad news. If Phil wins, Phil has already fought Manhoef. So if you're a promoter and you are looking for parity, the answer to your question is yes. You put Corey Anderson and Manhoef together as quick as you can get that paperwork done.
Well, it was a great fight out there tonight. Great job in his Bellator debut. All right, we've got a great night of fights coming up next week, but that does it here for the desk. Goldie, back down to you.
Jen, thank you very much. We are moments away from getting you to Wyoming at Colorado State on CBS Sports Network. We are moments away from the kickoff. We will get you out to that game on CBS Sports Network. 1 week from tonight, the Featherweight World Grand Prix is back. Patricio Pitbull defends his 145-pound belt when he battles Pedro Cavallo. In the other quarterfinal, it is a rematch between Daniel Weichel and Emmanuel Sanchez at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on CBS Sports Network. Some final thoughts from you, Josh Thompson.
So tonight, the main event, Corey Anderson, I thought he fought a wonderful strategic fight. Didn't take chances that he didn't need to take, and he came out with a dominant performance. I loved every second of it.
You're absolutely right, Josh. He came out and he did exactly what he needed to do against a guy like Melvin Manhoef, who's got that explosive stand-up ability. Took it all away from him, had him confused, got him to the ground, beat him up, just did a beautiful overall fight.
He certainly did, and the thing about Corey Anderson is that he is willing to take on whoever it is, and Phil Davis would be an interesting fight because they have a lot of skills that are virtually identical.
They are similar, and Phil Davis is an incredible wrestler with very good stand-up who controls the fight. You just look at what Corey Anderson did today. That wrestling ability he has and his stand-up, because he's moving his head, he's doing the right things, and when he tries to hit you, he tries to hurt you. That is a big element in what Corey does. He's got power.
Phil will not be scared of the wrestling, I can guarantee you that.
Phil Davis has earned his spot to get a chance at Nemkov. Of course, Nemkov was spectacular against Ryan Bader. Corey Anderson knows everyone except Nemkov pretty darn well, I would say, in addition to that, Josh.
Yeah, but that's the benefit of knowing all the top-level guys. But Nemkov snuck in there relatively unknown with a dominant performance over Ryan Bader and finishing him. And no one's made Ryan Bader look like that. And so the fact is, when you have someone like Corey Anderson coming in and fighting someone like Nemkov, not really sure what to expect, it makes it a very fun, interesting fight.
Oh, you look at what Corey Anderson brings, and then you look at what the champion in Nemkov is now capable of, because he's a completely different fighter from a year ago. His skill set matches up incredibly well with Corey. Corey's not going to have an easy time taking Nemkov down. It will be tough, and in the stand-up, Corey's going to have to deal with the kicking game of Nemkov, and that is not easy to do.
All right, next week, we continue. It resumes the Featherweight World Grand Prix. The title is on the line. Patricio Pitbull, Pedro Cavallo, and then it's the rematch. But this one with Weichel and Sanchez, if it's as good as the first one, man, it's going to be special.
You talk about two guys that are just incredible fighters. Emmanuel Sanchez has got a gas tank. He's got an engine. He runs at a high RPM. And Daniel Weichel has got a ton of experience. He won the first time. Emmanuel Sanchez says that is never going to happen again.
Daniel Weichel is somebody that makes his opponent fight his style of fight. Emmanuel Sanchez is someone who also fights whatever style he wants to fight. He is somebody that will walk you down and make him fight his fight. So this, to me, is going to be, I think, probably the best fight of this semifinals.
And then we will see Patricio Pitbull. For Michael C. Williams, Jen Brown, Chael Sonnen, Josh Thompson, Big John McCarthy, and our entire crew, Mike Goldberg, saying so long until next week. It is time now for college football. Here is Jason Knapp and Malik Zaire.